What it do, you guys? This is your boy Twin, keeping it G with Twinny.b, and we're gonna do a three-part series, the one I was telling you about. So we're gonna get it started. I know it's been a minute since I recorded, but it's been super busy in here. You know what I'm saying? Prison life is an everyday experience, and we keep it going. What's up with my boy though, man?
I'm right here taking it easy, man. Another day right here at High Desert, you know, just hanging out.
That's good. I appreciate you taking the time, bro. I really do.
No, there's no problem with you. You know, I got you, Big Twin.
That's right. That's right. So let's just dive into it, shall we?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So, how long you been in prison again?
I've been down 20 years. Well, going on 20 years. I've been sentenced to a combined 29 years, and I roughly got about a year to 3 years left.
3 years left.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's quite a stretch, and you go through some bumps and bruises and shit like that, but it's a part of the prison lifestyle, you know. It's just growing up in here, and, well, either get with it or you just get that done.
Yeah. Basically, it's about the rehabilitation, you know what I'm saying? And
right.
trying to do something better, you know what I'm saying? Because
yeah, I hear you.
And at the end, I feel like they kind of expect us to fail. So.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You know, and it's made a change. You know, there's been a change in the atmosphere in here, depending where you go and what prison what prisons and what yards you arrive on, because some of them, they do promote rehabilitation now, and they are actually starting up with rehabilitation classes. As for like GOGI, AVP, Alternative to Violence Project, there's a very different, there's a broad spectrum to when it comes to rehabilitation, like NA, Fatherless Fathers. There's just to name a couple of them that they have right here at High Desert.
And these groups, I mean, because maybe I'm a group coordinator, so this I know, but from your opinion, these groups are set in place. They're set in place to help us relearn our brain, right? Would you say so?
Yeah. It gives us a doorway of reframing the way we think.
Yes.
You know, as for how we were raised, or what we were brought up around, or either you fight or flight. But right here, it's more of like being able to cope with daily adversities, like from simple arguments to strong disagreements. You know, we just stop, think. It's pretty much situational awareness.
Yes,
you know?
Situational awareness.
So it's actually pretty good. It's actually helped me out quite a bit, and quite a few of the guys I hang around with too. We're pretty chill now. We're more aware of our self-action. You know.
And while these groups are in play, gangs they have a group for gangs, right?
Group for what?
Group for gangs.
Oh yeah.
Gang violence?
Yeah, it's Criminal Gang Anonymous.
Yeah, CGA. Have you ever done CGA?
Actually, no, I haven't. Right, but I am on the waiting list to be enrolled in that class.
Okay.
So, yeah, but I'm hoping to get in pretty soon, because although it's just a 12-step, it's a traditional 12 steps of awareness. It's same as like AANA. However, it addresses different aspects.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Different aspects of the gang mentality, and the way it shines light on why we are the way we are, you know, given that we're raised around it and we're raised within it. Some of us are raised within it because our parents were gang members,
100%.
Family were gang members,
100%.
Uncles, aunts were gang members. So that was just us, you know, and there's others that just happen to fall into it because of their brothers, you know, they looked up to their brothers.
I was one of those. That's how, yep, I get that.
Yeah, so it becomes pretty like embedded in us to think a certain way, and while the Criminal Gangs Anonymous teaches us to get out of that mentality and view it from a different perspective, you know.
Well, while being down, have you experienced gangs? Like, have you since you've been down? I'm sure you have 20 years. Have you experienced?
Oh yeah, most definitely. They're pretty much on every yard you go to. They vary, just they're just everywhere.
Mhm.
They mean from northern gangs, southern gangs, Central California gangs, Bay Area, San Diego, all the way from Northern California to Southern California. You can meet gangs from different states out here, and I'm sure in other states they meet a lot of guys from California.
Mhm.
And then you got the heavy hitters, which is like I really don't like to touch this topic, but I'm trying to shine light on what's actually happening here and the life I've lived. It's BGS, ME,
Yes.
and Nuestra Familia, New Northern Structure. Those are like the pretty much heavy hitters that actually run the prison population here on actually across the general population. So and they're quite influential, and the reason why the way they hold their structure is all of instilling fear into people.
Were those gangs the type of gangs that when you first get into prison, like back in the day, they set the tone for prison? Would you say like they set the tone for prison?
Oh yeah. Yeah, most definitely. That's without a question, man. Because everywhere you go, I mean, you're gonna meet somebody. You got your ones that allegedly say they know this individual or that individual, but there's those ones that have got direct contact, and all it takes is a piece of paper and a little bit of pen to pencil whip somebody, and next thing you know, somebody's crashing into the wall. So. I mean, yeah, but they're very influential around here. I mean, now that they all got kicked out of all the shoes, they're out there in the yards, pushing their agenda. From their agenda, I can say it's changed quite a bit from when they initially got released. They were pushing that rehabilitation path for all of us. Yeah. So
you mean when you first came into prison? Right, and the gangs that were setting the tone were actually pushing rehabilitation back in the day?
Actually, hell, no, let me correct that. That's my fault. So when I first came to prison, we weren't pushing none of the rehabilitation. Okay. Rehabilitation wasn't really frowned upon, but if you were pursuing it, it would kind of be more like you were in the cut doing it.
Okay, yeah.
But they weren't telling you not to educate yourself because they want us to be educated. They want us to know what we're doing, how to solve problems, daily problems, and it's just from then to now there's just a big old 180. So back in the days, it's more of like you have to contribute to the cause. In a way, shape, or form. So back in the days, you have to take turns throughout a whole building on holding stuff, packing stuff, getting stuff done.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
If it came down to holding weapons, selling drugs, passing kites or going on missions, stabbing, little checks, little 2-on-1s, 3-on-1s, and more than, you had more riots back in the days. But if you were caught not participating in the riot, that was a one-way ticket off the yard.
100%. 100%. And back then it was just like a hands-off policy, right?
Yeah, it was a hands-off policy amongst certain factions, So it's just quite changed. I mean, they're pushing that no hands-on policy still, right? It's more stricter now than it was back in the days, but
so in the same sense, would you say that gangs are still a big part of prison today?
Oh yeah, they still they have a strong hold on the prison population still. As for the GP side, oh yeah, they that's without a doubt. It's all about just keeping people in line. I mean, there's books I've read there's a book that I read on a dropout from the Mexican Mafia, and he's real blunt with it. This is the way he said the way they control the population. it's the biggest, baddest guy that has the biggest, baddest balls that's willing to do anything to push their agenda. It's about who has the most heart and who's willing to do the most. So the more you do, the more fuel you're going to have against somebody, you know? So they're quick to double think their actions on what they're going to choose to do when if they want to do something that goes against the grain or an infraction according to the rules they have set forth, you know. So it's all about instilling fear to somebody. That's how they keep people in line. That's all that is.
Okay, and with all that going on, like, and all that, it's, I mean, pretty intimidating to a lot of people. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, we see that every day. You know, intimidation is a big factor in prison.
Right.
So, would you say that, how hard is it, would you say, to get out of gang? It is to get out of the gang.
For you to get out of a gang, I think I can say roughly, right, it's all about just that decision, just choosing not wanting to be part of it anymore. However, if you do choose to make that decision, I mean, there's stuff that, there's like it's a more of I guess you can say, like, self-reflection, how you're going to feel when you drop out. Are you going to feel shameful? Are you going to feel like a coward? Are you going to feel like a straight sucker, you know? I mean, unfortunately, I'm sure everybody feels like that. But a lot of the times, it's like you think about what others are going to think of you when it comes to that. So that's what's going to kill you, is how others think of you. But at the end of the day, the way I look at it is like, you know what you're about. You know what you can do.
Definitely.
It don't matter how other people look at you.
Definitely.
You know, all you're doing is you're handing yourself back from your full potential. You know, it's all about like moving forward in life, because this gets old. At a certain point in time, it's like you get fed up with it. I mean, I'm fed up with it.
Yeah, me too. I'm fed up with it.
I'm tired of being in here, you know. But yeah, it's just how you're going to be perceived after that action. That's what people care about, you know. And unfortunately, we can't really dwell on that too much, because it's just going to tear us up.
It's in a way, it's in a way of your change. But okay, but do they allow? I'm saying them to step back. Like, do they allow? You know, is the actual saying, hey, I'm gonna step back. I'm not really worried about. Say if a person said, I'm not really worried about what nobody thinks of me. This is what I'm gonna do. Is there repercussions to stepping back out of a gang?
Oh yeah. Okay, so how this goes, right, is if you even give a slightest hint of stepping back on the GP side, right? I gotta tell you, you better be on your P's and Q's, man, because they're coming for that ass.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
It's like a shark.
Yeah, so it's not that easy just to get out of a gang, then, basically.
Well, it's mainly up to your choice, but I know if it's even hinted at or discussed as to where you want to be, you no longer want to be involved or anything like that, other than going Christian. Yeah, it's pretty much you better be on your P's and Q's, because if you're not, then you're pretty much slipping. They're gonna remove you.
Okay, and let's get See, that's what I'm. Okay, there, the remove aspect. What's the remove aspect?
Man, the remove aspect, man, it comes in many different shapes and
forms.
Man.
So what's the main that, you know? Because people on the streets, a lot of that's never been to prison, I know they hear it, like, man, you can go to prison, you can die, like, da-da-da-da.
Oh, yeah. Your remove aspect is either you're getting removed off the yard in the body bag, or you're going to be severely injured, and you're going to be in ICU for quite some time.
Damn,
you know,
wild.
I mean, you're talking about, okay, I got a perfect example. This happened back when I was in Salinas Valley, and there was a youngster that I knew from Calipat. I was in the hole from Calipat, and this youngster had got himself into a little mix-up out there. I'm not going to get too much in detail about it, right? But he got himself into a mix-up in the hole where him and his daddy had allegedly gone S&Y. So for him to, the homie seen that the sergeant was at their door, and they changed their door tag to a S&Y door tag.
Oh, no.
One of the homies reached out, and said, hey, what's going on over there, man? He goes, hey, what are you talking about? He goes, hey, they changed your door tag. What's up with that shit? He goes, fuck no, they shouldn't have changed my door tag. He goes, well, one of you guys, they're saying that one of you guys fucking crossed over. He goes, well, it wasn't me. He goes, well, if it wasn't you, as soon as your Sally gets back in the cell, take off on him. So as soon as the old boy's Sally got back in, well, there was an alarm. So the alarm took place, and well, he cleaned up, allegedly cleaned up what he had going on. Well, you know, they say the skeletons eventually come out the closet. So I ended up getting shipped out to Salinas Valley due to I was in the hole for a weapons charge, and when I got to Salinas Valley, I want to say about a couple weeks, a couple weeks later, this same individual pulls up. Well, I guess he was so damn paranoid on the yard, and you know, you see him looking around. You see him looking around in the yard like, what's wrong with these guys?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we're real vigilant for that type of stuff as for how people act sketchy on the yard, you know.
Yeah, that's what you all know, yeah.
Stuff like that. So, this guy, I guess he felt like somebody knew something about that, which little he didn't know that he had a clean slate. I mean, I knew this, and a lot of guys knew this, but due to that his subconscious mind was fucking with him.
Yeah.
It was really getting some. So, to cut down the story a little shorter, you know, so we were inside the building one day, and next thing you know, he turns in a handful of medical slips, and I guess in one of these medical slips it said that he didn't feel safe, and he was he feared for his life. Well, he turned in his medical slip to the MAC reps, because the MAC reps are the ones who you turn the medical slips into the MAC reps. Same thing with 22 forms, any forms that are going through the mail, you turn them to the MAC rep. Well, the MAC rep happened to read it. He looked at him. He goes, what the fuck is going on? He goes, oh, it's nothing like that. And so, well, old boy took off and came back with the fucking piece. And when I mean with the piece, I mean like with a good sized fucking weapon. And he gave it to his son, and he told his son,
handle business.
Yep, take him out. Well, sad to say, man, he was a youngster. He was like 22 years old, 23 years old. He was like, I think if I remember correctly, don't quote me, I think he was like 30 days to the house, man. 30 days to the fucking house. Unfortunately, you know, he killed him. He killed him. Yeah. It's a sad story, man.
And all because of somebody who was changing, doing something different, you know, from what they were doing, right? Yeah. Basically, right?
Right.
Okay, let me ask you this. So, what has changed about gangs and gangbanging in prison since the time you first began your term? What has changed most?
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
The thing that's changed most about prison, I mean, one of the things that I take notice of is the peace treaty amongst the population now. One of the biggest things, it was a long time. I mean, everybody's well aware of the long time war between the North and the South.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, definitely.
That ended up coming down to a peace treaty, and I mean, it's good because there's no longer as much bloodshed there was, and there's not that many murders between the North and the South anymore. But that's one of the biggest things. Actually, pretty good. But there's some individuals that I can speak for. I'm sure I can speak for both sides. I'm familiar with the northern aspect of politics, not as well as I'm real familiar, not as well as I am familiar with the southern. But I know when I was on the main line, I felt this way. For this war to be killed like that, it's like we feel some type of way because there's been bloodshed over the cause or the alleged cause that we once believed in. Brothers were lost, actual blood brothers were lost, you know, and friends were lost, and so for that just to come to a abrupt stop like that, I mean, there's Southerners and Northerners feel some type of way. It's just embedded. The hatred is just embedded in there for one another. Although there's something, it's been a long time war since back in the days, you know, and that hatred's still there. And we were raised to hate them, and vice versa. They were raised to hate us. So I mean, it's a good thing that stopped. I actually I like that, but I mean, you know, there's always that side of you where like, what's up with this guy?
Yeah,
You know,
of course.
they think about it the same way.
Yeah, of course. Because you know if you're thinking about it, they're thinking about it. I mean,
Yeah.
when you brought up the hate, like I had somebody on the show not too long ago. He was white supremacist. And he was just speaking about how they were just brought up to hate,
Right.
and how him doing something different. It was just something totally new. And so I get it. It's just when it's new to you, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you're iffy at times, and it's gonna happen, but the North and South, man, for the longest, bro, like I'm not going, y'all was knocking stuff. It was bad.
There was
That was the first murder I saw in prison.
Yeah, it's rough, man. It's rough, and you got to be. And when both factions are on the yard, you got to be on your shit. And back in the day, okay, back in the day, you had to be on your shit because although they say that we're peace treating now, somebody's gonna make that move, and it's gonna be a coordinated move.
Not everybody agrees with it, right?
Yeah. So right now they're shipping Northerners down south. Back in when I was in Calapat, they weren't allowed there, and now they're in Calapat, they're in Centinela, they're in Ironwood. So back in the days, Northerners weren't allowed to go down that way, and if they did land down in the southern prison, the Southerners, it was their responsibility to take flight ASAP, and they had to make sure they were airlifted. They needed to be stabbed because they weren't welcome in southern prisons. But it's pretty much changed now. They're down there, they're embraced out there, and I'm not sure. I can say I can pretty much say that I'm sure they've gotten their own bars and worked out the differences over there. So I'm pretty sure they're prospering as well as the Southerners are down right now.
Wow. So the change is phenomenal. Then basically, I mean, it's a big difference.
It's a big difference.
Yes, it's a big difference. You know what I'm saying?
It's a positive. It's good to take the violence out. The violence is like There's no place for it in life, man. After you've done so much, it's just now you just wonder about all the hurt you've caused people, and frankly, it kind of gets me knowing the shit I've done, and it's like, all for what, For something that we were allegedly part of, that we were brainwashed to believe.
Yeah.
It's not what it is. It's just it's a false sense of identity, man.
Yeah.
A false sense of identity. I understand it now that I'm older because we want to be a part of something and we want to feel like we have a camaraderie and like it's just looking for acceptance. That's what it is.
Do you feel like you were misled in a sense by looking at the older homies, seeing things, and you look at people and you see things like, oh, everyone believes in this a big homie, but when you see things and things like, man, this he's just an ordinary motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? So do you feel like you was misled?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
When kids are vulnerable, man. You still believe what you tell them until you actually start doing the research and doing the work. And it's like history, man.
Yeah.
If you do the research on history, well, you'll find out a lot of the stuff they teach ain't
really what it is.
So it's like that. But I mean, as we get older, we realize it and we snap out of it.
Yeah.
So it's. The ideology that they instill in us is quite deep, and they teach us it's all about the sur, sur 13, and stuff like that. So at one point, I hate to say it, but I mean, I was willing to do anything for them guys.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, they don't give a shit about us. They don't give two shits about us. I mean, honest, I can tell you a little story that I'm aware of firsthand where there's this guy, right? There was this hit put on some guy out there in LA, out of Compton. Well, the guy that ordered the hit to the youngster carried out the hit, right? Got him. Well, one of the older guys, the brothers of the bigwigs, right, called in. He said, "Hey, what happened here?" He goes, "Well, I got this. Your brother told me to do this." He goes, what? All right, well, we'll get him on the line right now. We'll find out what's going on. So they get his brother on the line, and he goes, hey, did you sanction this hit right here? He goes, no. He was like, what?
Oh,
Hold on,
no.
you told me to do it. He goes, no, I never told you to do shit.
Oh, no.
Next thing you know, this fool's getting whacked.
Oh,
You know?
no.
Shit really happens. They fucking use people to do
You
shit
use
like
him to
that.
do his dirty work.
Oh,
and
yeah.
threw him under the bus. Like,
Yup.
nah, go ahead, do you know, okay.
That's just to show that everybody's expendable, man.
Yeah.
Everybody, you're just if they don't give a shit about us. They don't give a shit about us at all.
Yeah.
Like, they don't care. There's always somebody willing to step up to the plate and fucking take their spot, man. You know?
And boy, hey, you know what? I appreciate this, man. This is only the first episode of this series, and the games. I feel like it's super intriguing because when you come to prison and every race is different. I feel like every race is different. You know what I'm saying? Like Hispanics do the way they do it. The whites do the way they do it, and blacks do the way they do it. Bay Area do the way they do it. Even Zilla. Like, I got family from Zilla, and Zilla do their own thing. You know what I'm saying? So everyone does things different. But just to hear from this perspective, bro, I really appreciate that, man. I really do. I really do.
It's pretty deep, man.
Yeah.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I mean, as we all know, there's more to it than meets the eye.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
definitely.
a lot of this shit happens behind prison walls.
Definitely.
So, I mean, the way they look at it is like, what else could they do to me? I'm already doing life in prison shit, you know?
Yep.
So, I mean, it's just, a lot of the guys on the other side, they don't realize that we give them their power. You know, without the population, they wouldn't be nothing.
Come on, 100%.
Only if they would come to their sense and realize what these guys are doing to them, and they're just using them and whatnot. It's just, it kind of baffled me because when I was there, they were already speaking of.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
They were talking about like having a rebelling against them because just the way they were doing stuff. They're really tyrannical about how they carry out their ambitions. They want to be bullies and that's mine. Or, you have to give me this.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand they feel entitled, but damn, man, it's like.
See, when you abuse power, it makes everyone wants to turn against you.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, this is your boy Twin, man, and my boy, man. We really wanted to bring and shed some light about this, about just gangs and how prison, how the interaction experiences. I really hope that you guys are hearing this and listening to this. This is not anything that you really want to be a part of. This is not the life you want.
Absolutely not.
This is not the life you want. This is just part. Yeah, you guys. I really just want to appreciate. Tell my boy, I appreciate you, boy. I really do.
Yeah, no problem, man. My concern of the youngsters out there that are being misled by the older homies because the older homies no longer teach us what they used to teach. While they no longer teach the youngsters what they taught us back in the day. They're more devious about their actions. So I just want to shed light on this stuff. Like this is the honest truth, man. I've been down 20 years, and it's just I don't want to see the youngsters have to go through this because I tell you right now, a lot of the youngsters that come from juvenile hall, they end up on this side anyway because they look at us like knuckleheads. I mean, at the end of the day, we started off our career young, and sometimes we're just stubborn in our ways. But I mean, there's no future in it, man. I want to reach out to the youngsters out there and just say, hey, man, stay in school. School's where it's at. Education will get you far. Look at all the people that made a significant impact in the Constitution, man. And you gotta stay strong, man. Stay focused. I know sometimes we may lose focus and we may feel some certain types of way in school, but trust and believe, man. Hard work pays off. Hard work does pay off, man.
Hard work pays off. Hey, you guys, this is your boy Twin. I appreciate you guys tuning in with your boys. Hey, it's keep it G with Twinny.b. Open prison discussions, and this is part 1 of a 3-part series. This right here was real life experiences of gangs in prison. And yeah, you guys can follow me on every single social media app. My wife got me plugged in on everything, and my website is www.twinny.b.com. That's TWINNYB.com.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
And you guys will definitely be taking. If you guys want to questions or you want comments, you guys want to comment anything, just tap in. It's good. Tap in. I want that. I would love that. Just tap in. Y'all have a good night, and I'm out of here.